My car's engine warning light came on Friday evening when I got back from work, and I'm supposed to be going away today. Hopefully the car will be fine. We've turned off the light and I've got it booked in for a proper diagnostic. But as it is now, I am gonna go away. Welcome to this birthday vlog, where I spent 2 nights on my own in the middle of nowhere on purpose. I don't agree with it, and actually really makes me angry when people leave things behind at festivals. But right now I'm very grateful for the people that left this trolley behind at Boomtown last year, because it looked basically untouched and it's really helping me right now. So thanks, don't do it again. Here you'll see fire, fear, cake, trees, and at the end of the video I show you the zine that I made to record my transition into the next year. Sunshine, sun there, the sunrise here. The first hour of my drive I was physically anxious about the engine light coming on again and car breaking down or some other catastrophe. So I didn't really enjoy the drive, and even when I noticed that physical feeling, I was holding a lot of tension. I couldn't let it go in case the car noticed and broke down as soon as I relaxed, which is a bit ridiculous, but it was very illuminating about how powerful anxiety can be. That even once I'd realised that it was a daft feeling, it wasn't until 20 minutes before the end of my drive that I could really let go. I chose this place because it's away from any big roads, as I've really been struggling with the road noise where I live. I was feeling tired and fed up, and I wanted to be immersed in nature, able to switch off from communicating with others, and have a simple birthday where I could purely please only myself. I enjoy spending time with myself, and I find it easy. I didn't want the pressure of having to organise a celebration or replying to texts, so my phone was off the whole time. Here I am. I only just got here. I've got the rest of today, I've got the whole of tomorrow, and then I leave on Wednesday morning. Let's relax, shall we? I definitely have a high and an anxiety hangover to get over, come down from. But here we are. Yes! So I settled in, made myself a sandwich, and just allowed myself, my nervous system, my body to arrive and enjoy the sun, even though it was a little bit chilly. I'd been out for a little wander to get to know my surroundings and collected some twigs and pine cones to get the fire started. Just got back from a little explore around where I am. I think this is like a working forest, and across the way is like a completely cleared of trees, half of the valley, and then on the other side, very, very large old trees. I just went down there, sat with the trees for a bit. I just love how quiet it is. I mean, it's not quiet at all. There are a lot of birds. The sound of the wind through the trees. Every now and then I can hear a plane, but otherwise, nothing. Oh, there was a chainsaw earlier as well. But what I really wanted to do is to get away from road noise, to get away from vehicles, from the sounds of other humans, from the busyness of city life. And I've done it. And it's really nice to just amble around, not really speak much, not have to think about interacting with an other besides trees and insects and things, which is pretty easy for me to do these days. So I've come back. It is 20 to 7, so we've still got like an hour and a half of light, probably a bit longer. It is getting chilly. The sun is behind the trees. I don't want to light the fire yet, like I've started to build it, but it feels a little premature to light it. But I do want a hot drink. So I'm going to use my stove. I'm sure I just saw a massive bird flying through those trees, but then it didn't come out the other side. Oh, I'm just going to spend all my time watching birds. I'm not, but I'll spend a large amount of time watching birds. Saw a bunny as well. There's all sorts here. It's marvellous. I love a fire. That's what I'm here for, really, is to sit by the fire and just look at the sky. I've been recovering from autistic burnout for the last couple of years, and this is a period of time where I was coming to the end of being able to tolerate the busyness of life again, and I just needed a reset. So this was really about no obligations, no expectations besides cultivating my ability to be present, watching lovely robins flying around, and simply attending to basic needs like food, air, movement, and my simple pleasures like this. One of my favourite things is toasting bread over a fire. Mostly because of the novelty, but toast is great too. And I'm not usually, and well, I'm not, I don't like smoky flavours, so I don't really know why I get so excited about toasting over fire. It doesn't taste too smoky. It's just fun. Oh, it smells amazing. Oh no, my butter's too cold. Shredding my toast. Do you know what I've never had? Toasted marshmallow on toast. That's what I'm gonna do. A bit too hot. They're not quite squidgy enough. But I'm sure they'll be great. Oh yeah. The salted butter. Oh yeah. Oh, outstanding. Who bloody knew? Toasted marshmallow on toast. Cheers. 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 I'm going to do it again. Good evening. I was a bit premature setting the fire inside. So here's a lesson for me for tomorrow. I haven't brought enough vlogs with me. I just bought one bag, not really having any idea how much wood you use for a couple of hours on a fire. But I did go into the forest and pick up windfall and used that on this outside fire. So tomorrow, my mission is collect more of that so that I can balance it out and don't set the inside fire until later. Because I kind of want to sit out here until the stars come out, and there is one. But it's nice and warm and cozy in there. It's just wood burns quickly. Here I am on the last night of my early 40s. Not especially reflective, more kind of zoning out at the scenery and noticing the sounds of the birds, the sheep in a far field. Every now and then the wind goes through the trees, but I've really looked out on the weather. Been noticing things and also just sort of disappearing out of myself. And one of my intentions for being here is to have the whole day tomorrow here, just being in the environment and paying attention to it. So I'm not going to a town to buy another bag of logs. I am going to do lots of mini quests to get as much wood as I can. I think I can say now I've arrived, in that there are many more moments of me actually noticing where I am and what's going on, rather than a passing noticing. It's a strange thing to try and explain. And I don't know if there'll be many people that do understand what I'm talking about. But now I'm watching clouds just drifting by. There's obviously a lot more wind up there than there is down here. But now I'm noticing that's happening rather than there have been occasions earlier today where it's just happening and I'm looking but I'm not seeing. If that makes sense, even though I can remember it happening now. Anyway, tomorrow I want to do a lot more looking and seeing. Tonight, once this fire stops giving heat, I'm going to go inside. I'm going to journal. I'll probably have an early night. That's another year done. I am very good at spending time on my own. Sometimes I wonder if I spend too much time on my own. But I know for this occasion, being away, not having to think about or worry about anybody else, this was exactly what I needed. Just get cozy and just hunker down and do exactly what I pleased. There's not much better than an early morning where you can go straight outside, make your coffee and drink that in the fresh light of the day. Unfortunately, I don't have a garden, so it's not often I'm able to do this. So this was a real treat. Happy birthday to me. I planned on having cake with a candle for breakfast. Cheers to you. And had prepared by purchasing a lovely slab of cake on my way out of Sheffield the day before. Oh yeah. I can't buy the candles, and that means I can't have the cake yet. That's annoying. On my way out of Sheffield yesterday, I made sure to get some cake. Quite the slab. My birthday. I'll have cake for breakfast. It's a strange day. It is a liminal day. Not feeling as at peace as I would like, but I think I'm thinking about you too much. I'm just a bit restless. This fella was the only other person that I saw all day. It was a little bit alarming to see him at the end of the path. So I hung back a little bit because I really, really didn't want to talk to anybody else. And eventually he disappeared off in front of me and I turned off up to this lovely little field. You might think I'm crazy. Maybe I do a little bit too. I'm pretty sure these trees are all pointing and beckoning me to look that way. Now, the wind is blowing that way. And I have been looking, wondering, well, if I decide that they're telling me to go the other way, does it look like they're going the other way? But no. And yeah, as I've got the day and I'm working on being in touch with my intuition, aka the wider world and consciousness, I'm going to go and see what's down in that corner. Because that's a fun adventure anyway, isn't it? I'll show you when I get there. I've just got up to start walking. It might be a sheep, but it's not very fluffy. Might be a goat. It's eating. Oh, and there's some more. Now I'm a bit nervous. What if they're cows? They're not cows. Oh, there's loads of them. When does sheep get sheared? Is this early? They're sheep. Are they sheep? Can you even see? They're sheepies. But isn't it funny how I was now convinced that the trees are telling me to go this way? And I'm like, oh, but I have to go that way. But I'm just having to walk past these animals. Hi. That one's leaving. And I know sheep generally okay. Sometimes I get in my head about them and they freak me out a bit. Hi, everybody. This one is the brave one coming to tell me, fuck off. They're all coming at me. I'm leaving. I don't like it. Bye. Maybe they're just being curious. But I once... You can't hear me. Oh, shit, they're all coming. I once had a standoff with some sheep in a village, in a place that I knew fairly well. And they're used to people. And they stomped at the gate. And they stomped so hard and vehemently, I don't go through. Oh, shit. Now I'm scared. Chased out of the field by sheep. I'm sure they're just being friendly. I wonder what they want. Why am I such a scaredy cat? Hi. Okay, let's see what happens. Hey. I'm still coming. Hello. God. As somebody that wants to be all connected to nature and be all like loving and at one, and then I run away from them. We'll do this from behind a fence. Hi guys. Now I feel like a letdown. Why am I so scared? What I was thinking of before I decided to get up and follow the trees and then found the sheep is fear. How I've got myself out here properly in the middle of nowhere. There's no other people or few people around. But as I've been feeling a little restless today and feeling like I want to do, even though the reason I'm here is to be, it got me thinking about me compared to other people, and some people are always doing, and most people are often with other people, and I spend a lot of time on my own. But I've come away here purposely to be on my own, to get away from the noise of humans. I live on a main road. There's constant conversations, sometimes arguments. There's the traffic. There's always people. And I find it very overstimulating. So I wanted to come out here to not hear humans. And that still remains a true motivation for that. I found myself sat in that field, a fenced off field. It made me think about, is it actually the people that I need to get away from? Or is it just people and the noise of it? Or is it actually the fear, the uncertainty, the anxiety of the unknown? And every individual is an unknown entity that could do literally anything at any moment, and it's impossible to be prepared for that, and therefore and then having that encounter with the sheep, traditionally a, I don't know, gentle, cute, neutral animal, but I've had a scary experience with them before, and these sheep are unknown, and because they're up here away from humans, they're less used to humans, so I can't even begin to predict how they were going to interact with me, and so I wanted to get away. So it's just really interesting to me to note, oh, I'm looking for signs from the universe, let's follow the trees that are telling me to go that way. And then I sit in that field thinking about fear. Am I actually just hiding away from everything that is unknown just so that I can get a bit of peace from it? Then I go and follow the signs from the universe and then run away again because there's unknowns. You know, when you get the messages you need rather than the ones that you want. And I don't really know what to do about it. Fear and anxiety comes up a lot with my clients in therapy. And all I know to do with that, for them, with them, help them find their self-confidence, their ability to know that they're okay for them. That no matter what happens, they'll be okay. And I believe this of me too, but there's something about the insufficiency of that. I do practice what I preach, and everything that I help my clients with is also what I do, but I know that I don't have a full varied life. It's mostly limited by fear, probably because I know I'm only one person and I can't do everything myself, but trying to do things with other people always brings challenges and upset and hurt feelings and more stuff to have to deal with. So yeah, I think I got overstimulated by the wind and the sun. Like clear blue sky all day. And I got too cold. And I think everything just was a lot. I got into bed to try and warm up. And I started reading. I started reading this book that's here. It was up on this shelf. People have left all sorts of different things here. There's terrible magazines, which I also looked at. And maybe I regret, I don't know. Anyway, I've been reading Lob by Linda Newbury. Obviously it's a kid's book. And it's like big words, lots of space. And I thought I could read it all. And I'm gonna. Like, I've got this much left. I'm not enjoying it. I want to know how it ends. I kind of like its point. Anyway, much like the book is a little bit meh. That's how I've been feeling today. It is now 5:30, I think, 20 to 6. Oh, excuse me, and I'm going to go for another walk. I do feel like I've been a little recharged. I did not get warm while I was first in bed, and I got up at some point when the wind slammed the door shut, and I did a hot water bowl, and that's warmed my feet up, and it seems to have warmed the whole of me up, so I was more comfortable, and I did nap a little. Usually I don't nap unless I really need to, and maybe I did really need to, but mostly it's my birthday and I'll nap if I want to. And so I did. I hope I don't regret it later and I'm not able to sleep. I don't think that'll be a problem, especially because I'm going to go and move now. But I wanted to come on because I've not said very much yet today. And when I thought about if I did make it on this adventure, filming this adventure, and the story that I was going to tell in it about being me choosing to spend my birthday on my own and what kind of weirdo would want to do that, well, I'll tell you what kind of weirdo. And I honestly think this location, as well as this date, I may have started a new tradition. The coming away on my own on my birthday, I think I am likely to still do, because the witchier I get and the more connected to nature I get, and the more I understand, and though I still struggle with it a little, the necessity of being alone and the power that comes in being alone. I think at these transition points in the year, I don't necessarily want to be distracted from the meaning of it, and the meaning may be in the future that I join in community with other people. But this year that absolutely doesn't feel right, though there is a bit of me that has been questioning myself because I think I'm sad. And I don't think I am supposed to spend as much time on my own as I do. It's just easier in one way, but then what I get as a consequence isn't so easy to deal with. And trying to balance the knowing of the need to be self-reliant and to understand that there are many things that we have to do on our own with we are a social communal species and we have to be with people in groups, sharing and cooperating and relating. There's been some discomfort today, and I think that's the point. I woke up thinking, and I don't know why I did, maybe there's something about a dream, but I woke up thinking about being exactly as I am. And so today there's been a bit of a battle to work out exactly as I am. Who am I? What do I need? What do I want? How am I going to get that? Is that okay? and being able to reconcile that with what I'm thinking. What do I think I need? What do I think I want? What do I think I want to do? And I think often those two things are different. And today, I've just caught myself how many times I've said think. And today, I did take away all expectations of myself of what I was going to do in this place on this day. And it was supposed to be, and I guess it has been, instinctive and following my intuition. And I had a lovely moment earlier on my first walk in the woods where I saw 2 deer separately, one on either side. And I think maybe that's a bit rare. Like seeing deer in the wild, it doesn't happen very often, though it has happened more for me in the last couple of years. And it's really lovely, it's really special, like it's a treat. It made me cry, and it's like, oh, let's see the deer for my birthday. And then I've come back here and I've just been a bit miserable and couldn't quite feel right, and I started getting cold, and I did tolerate the sun quite well while I was reading outside, but then inevitably I've ended up in here and trying to get warm because cold is really uncomfortable. I don't know what that because was, but it made me think about there's no electricity here, there's no comforts. I'm stalling building a fire because I've got the whole night to go through, so there's some process there as well. I think about being conscious of resources, and that's just fucking annoying in my daily life anyway. And it's not like I've come here to get over the annoyances of daily life. I suppose there is somewhat of an escape from that. I don't want to need to think about any of that. My phone has been off all day and I intend to keep it off. So I'm going to go for a walk now to collect more wood for the fire, to move my body because I think my body does want to move now. And my dinner's going to be toast again, toast over the fire. The need to do something, the need to be more, the need to notice more, the need to appreciate more. I think because my psychological adaptation is dissociative in nature, I can look like I'm being, I can think that I'm being, when actually I'm dissociating and I'm not present at all. Something about presence. I want to be present with everything all the time, and yet I know that that's too much. So I am present now. And I'm going to go and be present, walking down the footpath and down the road and through the trees, collecting wood. And maybe it just is, and this thought occurred to me earlier, but I didn't put it on here. But maybe what's been happening today has been the recovery from the over anxious processes yesterday. The relatively long drive. I'm not used to long driving anymore. It was 2.5, 3 hours. But 2 hours of just stomach churning nervousness of, oh my God, what's going to happen with my car? And then that's all the normal stuff of getting ready for a trip. But it was a lot and it was intense and it was all within a short amount of time. And so part of me has wondered if what I've been doing today is processing the hangover of it. And I'll never know. That's just my theory. I'm gonna put my coat on. Do you like my repair? I don't have a sewing kit. This happened a year ago. But I've been scattering stuffing along footpaths, and that's not okay because this is stuffed with plastic. So hopefully the safety pins keep it all in. I made nettle tea and I've barely drank a drop. Let's go. Let me show you my cool sticks. This is terrible lighting to do this in. I think so. One more. This one tried to jump away from me about 6 times. They're just like little flowers, just gathered on a stick. It's so pretty. Have you ever tried to make a nest? Whenever spring comes, I'm often fascinated by the appearance of new nests, and I suppose when autumn comes and you can see them all again. So how do birds build nests? Like, how many times do they start? Like, they start with 2 or 3 twigs on a non-windy day and hope that they just sort of balance there when they come back for the next 2 or 3. Like, it blows my mind. I'd love one day to have some woodland that I can spend a long amount of time in, where I can observe birds building their nests and see how they do it. Because what I'm doing right now is a sort of ritual nest building. My friend shared a birthday ritual with me, which was to make a clay bowl. My clay was too dry, so I wasn't able to do it. And then when I was writing about it last night in my journal, I thought, oh, I could make a nest. A big part of where my happiness lies right now, and therefore where some peace could come from, is where I live and how I live. It doesn't suit me. It's not optimal for who and how I am. I would really like in this next year to be able to find a way to live more in alignment with what works for me, rather than having to keep putting up with things and ignoring things. So I thought, oh, I'll make myself a nest tomorrow. Oh, there's a caterpillar. Sorry, mister. We're now at dusk and I'm just getting on with it now. Obviously I've been out foraging for firewood and I've just been around to get grasses and a bit of reed. This isn't going to incubate any nests. And I would like to learn weaving properly one day. But for now, this is symbolic of the nest that I am building. And this will be my ritualistic vessel for the next year. And I can keep feeding it with my intentions and my desires, and my wishes and my hopes. And I suppose while I'm doing it, I think about those things now. And actually, I'm quite enjoying it. I'm feeling pretty engaged in it. It's a fun little thing to do. I'm not too cold right now. I'm quite absorbed. It's just a nice little activity, and hopefully it will survive the journey home, and it shall go upon my altar, and I shall feed it my wishes and hopes and dreams and intentions across the year. Because today is the liminal space between the end of last year and tomorrow, when I step out into my next year. So I've still got plenty of light. I'm just going to keep weaving these twigs through my grass and hope that it all stays together for the next year. And if it doesn't, well, I'm sure that's symbolic of something, huh? It's a fun memory. There's another one. Hey you, sorry. I don't want to hurt you. And I don't want to squish you. You wriggle away. It's looking less like a nest and more like a platform. How do they get it so that it's cup-shaped? I finished. I don't know what happens to green grass that's been tied in a knot once it dries out. We'll find out. But I think we've got a structure. I hope it'll last a year. Done. Huzzah. Let's light this fire. There's a good chance all of this wood is too wet. And here we are into the new year, a fresh year, some fresh coffee made on a camping stove. Something about camping stoves making things just taste that little bit better. My plan today was to go to the seaside. Good morning. But first, I need to finish this book before I go. Review coming up. Finish this. Nice way to start the day, finishing a book. I got a little teary. It's not my favourite book. It's gentle. I mean, it's a kid's book, so it's not, I don't know. I've not read that many children's books, so I can't really compare it to anything. I just know that I wasn't massively gripped. I just sort of kept turning the pages rather than I needed to turn the pages. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, there was a lovely moment towards the end of a mutual recognition of something, and that made me tear up. And it's a lovely ending, and I really like the illustrations in here. They remind me of something that I've forgotten from when I was younger. It might be Quentin Blake, but it might be others. They're really nice, just simple black and white sketches, really. They kind of remind me of my sort of drawing as well, I suppose. They certainly helped the story. And I love the idea of illustrating every book that I read. So this was cute. This is a very lovely front cover illustration. If you have young people that are interested in gardening or gardens or the outdoors, I recommend Lob. I am gonna pack up and probably get on my way. It's just about 9 o'clock. Checkout is 11, but I'll be gone before then. I think I'm gonna go to the seaside. See you in a bit. So I went to Scarborough. Never been to Scarborough before, though I was pretty sure I had. Did you know that Scarborough has 2 beaches? Did you know that they're not all that close to each other? I found this out because once I discovered there were 2 beaches, I tried to walk from one to the other. But I wasn't spending that much time there, so I abandoned my mission when I was about a quarter of the way around the peninsula. It's a nice seaside town, and I definitely recommend it if you've got an afternoon or a day. I will probably go back. I think it's actually quite a nice, large place with plenty of places to explore and street art to have a look at, and antique shops to go in, and independent crafts, and you can see dogs sitting in holes on the beach. Also, beware of the seagulls. They will try and get your food. It's actually kind of funny and a little bit sad, but you've got to admire their tenacity. I really want to give him a chip, but the signs are very clear. Don't feed the seagulls. Every time he steps back, it's because I look at him. You're a funny bird. Stop it. Alrighty, I am back in South Yorkshire. I'm just gonna do a little outro, I guess. Today I went to Scarborough. You've probably seen a seagull and a chip cob and a bit of the sea. Had a little mooch around there. Didn't stay for too long. It was nice. Now I'm on my way back. I've had my solo birthday. I've had my little retreat. Definitely wasn't long enough. Could probably do with another couple of days somewhere where I don't have to do anything. But here is the situation we find ourselves in, and so I'm going home. Tomorrow I'm getting tattoos, which my friend bought me a gift voucher for, so that's very exciting, but it's a long time in the making. I've made a little zine. I will show you that actually. And I do feel a little rested and rejuvenated. I'm nowhere near as mardy today as I was yesterday. I chose to spend my birthday on my own because if I was in a relationship with another person, I'd want to go away somewhere nice, have little treats, and so I did that for myself. I wanted to get away from the noise of other humans, just to get a bit of peace. I did that, and it hasn't been too jarring coming back into the world. So thank you for joining me on this little adventure. I hope it's inspired you to do whatever the hell you want. whether there's somebody to do it with or not. Just go and have a nice time, even if you feel anxious, even if you're scared. Don't do it so much that you'll traumatize yourself or you just won't have a good time at all. But if you know yourself well enough that you can feel some anxiety, there's a bit of trepidation about a journey, but you know that once you get somewhere and you're settled in, you'll be okay, go and do it. It's always better to do the thing than to not do the thing, probably. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra! This is basically what I made across my time away. A place to reflect, a place to record the standout things, and somewhere that at the end, once I got home, I completed. So the title of this, which I love, this came from the second night, standing outside around the fire and seeing that I had a shadow, but there was only this much moon. It had not long been new moon, so there wasn't very much moon visible, but the light was strong enough that it gave me a shadow. So I was marveling at my moon shadow. And as I was away for 3 days, it kind of split it into the day before, the last day of the year, my last day of being 43. Recorded some important things. The tall trees as I was driving in, they're enormous, loved that. Cooking toast over the fire, that was one of my favourite things to do when there's a bonfire. This is me, in my large coat and fetching hat. There's an emu there, and I'm pretty sure he growls or like rumbles. It was a strange sound that I don't think I've ever heard a bird make, but there it was. And also, on each of these 3 days, I pulled a tarot card. I didn't look at them until I'd got the third one. So here is the King of Swords that I pulled to represent what the last year has taught me, what it's for, what I should take from it. And these are my feelings. And then in the middle, because I had a whole day there with no one else around, no phone, no music, just me and lots of wind and the grass. There's a liminal space and it was quiet. So I walked through the trees to get to the field. There's the sheep that scared me. I collected wood. There were no annoying bugs. And this is a bit of a tally list of things that happened on that day. Here is the man that was walking ahead of me. Here are all of my feelings, and this is the card that I pulled on my birthday. And this is the nest that I built. And then this one is what I'm stepping into, what I'm going into the next year with, what I've learned from my weekend, what I've learned from the year, I suppose, but more on reflection. I'm really scared a lot of the time about a lot of things. And I suppose I knew that, but I hadn't quite recognized or fully felt the impact of that. There's a lot of fear. And knowing that I can choose, once upon a time I learned, you can lead your life from fear or you can lead your life from love. And I chose to lead life from love, but I ignored the fear. And whilst love has been a big part of my life, and that's wonderful, I'm scared. And this fear needs processing. My victim is scared and she needs love. So fear is what I've identified as around, and I don't know yet what to do about it besides love, which is what I have, is what I am, it's what I want more of, and it's what I'm spreading to others. I don't yet know what to do about it, although it would seem I do. I'm going to create. And the card that I pulled to take me into this year is the Seven of Cups, the gods of choice and illusion. I'm taking that as a keep going with all those wonderful things that I'm trying to create and what I want to do. Just don't get carried away with too much wishful thinking, and make sure I act. Make sure I do something about all of these wishes. And chip cob and 2 donuts on Scarborough Beach is how I ended the day. And then follow that goose. Everything is as it should be, and I am okay exactly as I am. These are the words I woke up to on Saturday morning. Act, don't wait, is what I wrote in my journal the day after, because Did I just say Saturday morning? It was Tuesday. But act, don't wait. I'm a fucker for thinking and sitting around and wishing. But I need to do and follow that goose. So there's my little birthday zine. It was only possible because I took myself on this little trip and I had friends and supportive people that would have helped me had I not been able to go. And that's the love. The friends and supportive people. This is a weird E with 2 hearts, in case you hadn't clocked that. And this concludes this little solo adventure for my birthday. I'm so glad that I did it. And I encourage anybody who's inclined to go and do it. And make a zine while you're there. It's a great little reflective exercise to do for any reason, but certainly approaching during and after a birthday, it sets itself up quite nicely. The day before, the day of, and the day after, and the year after. Ta-ra.